Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and I'm joined now with Billy Joe Saunders. Billy, news just broke today.
Yeah.
April 14th, not happening. It's now on for June 23rd. Tell me what happened.
Just when I boxed David Lemieux, my hand swelled up, and it was more inflamed, and nothing. Thank God, nothing broke or need operating on. Just badly bruised and a slight sort of sprain sort of thing, I suppose. But everything happens for a reason. I know I can't go into the Martin Murray fight 80%. I've got to be 100%. It's his last shot. He's a good fighter. But over the scheduled fights coming up and the World Cup happening and TV dates, we was handed the 23rd of June, so you either say no or you either go with it, and I promised Martin he'll have his shot, so he will, but it's just been put back 12 weeks.
So at this point, do you remain in camp, or are you going to take some time off and then return to camp? The
thing is about it is that I'm probably 75% fit, so I can't remain in camp training how I've been training. It happened last week, so I've tapered down a little bit, but what you've got to deal with it, you've got to get on with it, and I've been in camps before where you overdo it, so I certainly won't be doing that. Dom's very very experienced in that department. I mean, I'll be still ticking away steady, getting ready for a fight. It's been put back, everything happens for a reason, so I just got to be careful I don't overcook it, but I'm sure if I listen to Dom I won't be.
There's been a lot of talk about Canelo in the news as of late, and I know that you've been very vocal on social media in terms of how you feel about the clenbuterol news. Do you feel that, how do I say this? Do you feel that the outcome would have been different, the outcry would have been different had Golovkin tested positive for clenbuterol?
Most definitely, but personally, the both of them I think would have took it with a pinch of salt because of the money was involved in the fight and the magnitude of the fight. Personally, I don't think that either wouldn't care if they was on crack cocaine or whatever enhanced drug they've been taking. I personally think the fight will still go ahead because in boxing, there's an old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And, Golden Boy is very close with Canelo Álvarez. And if it would have been Golovkin, I still think the fight would have been going ahead.
What do you make of news that Spike O'Sullivan is now saying that you are being reported to fight Golovkin regardless of the outcome, whoever wins on May the 5th, that you will get Golovkin and he's getting Canelo? What do you make of Canelo sort of arranging his next fight before we even know who wins?
I knew that Canelo don't want to fight me because you only want to fight the best. And, I've boxed Spike and I've beat Spike. So I'd have thought that Canelo would have been looking for a unification, the same as what I'm looking for. But hopefully Golovkin wins because I know that fight can easily be made, and I'm very happy that Spike O'Sullivan's got the fight because when you've been in with Spike, even when he boxed Eubank, I know he wasn't 100%. Speaking to him leading up to the fight, I knew there was injuries, but you got to go. Sometimes you go through them and they don't pay off. That's the reason why I'm not going through with this fight because I can't afford to, because I'm in a good position. But I'm very, very happy that he's got the fight with Canelo. I'm sure it will happen, win, lose or draw, but hopefully that's my fingers are crossed for Golovkin to win.
Should Canelo be successful on May the 5th, though, it leaves him with all of the belts. Do you feel frustrated at all, even slightly, that you would have to wait till the following year in order to get a unification fight?
Not really, because I know that fight with Canelo won't happen. My style was wrongly suited for Canelo, and his team knows that. I'm not saying Canelo's scared, but his team knows that my style is not suited for someone like him. Amir Khan was beating him. I think I'm a lot better fighter than Amir Khan. I've certainly got a better chin than Amir Khan, and I'm more clever in the ring. So and I'm a bigger man, a lot bigger man. So I don't think that my style of boxing suits his style from a business point of view. Mm-hmm. You know, if I was a slugger, stand there and have a fight like Spike will, then it puts, you know, all the chips in his corner a little bit. And I'm not that kind of fighter.
Does the Gennady Golovkin fight still interest you, even if he doesn't have the titles on the line?
Well, look, obviously it does, but what he needs to realise is that if he sits at the table without all of his belts, then, you know, he becomes the B side and I become the A side, because most definitely it'll happen in England. My opinion is it will happen in England anyway. Certainly 100% I'll give him a shot or a chance. But, you know, he'll have to find another fight to get a win first, I suppose. I don't think they might do, but sanction him after the fight. But hopefully he wins, you know. I think that it's going to be a very tough job. I think that, you know, he's against the judges, he's against the referee, he's against Golden Boy himself. He's got the cards stacked up against him, because I thought he won it last time clearly by 3 rounds, but they give it a draw.
Canelo says that he's embarrassed by what's happened, but he's also clarified and stood by his word by saying that it was the meat that he was eating was contaminated in Mexico. Do you believe that?
Most definitely not, unless he was given oral sex to a steadhead. Because when I tell you that he's 100% took them tablets or stuck them needles in his arm, or his team has stuck them in it, 1,000,000%, that's a load of shit, because he has, you know, the bulk up in size, you know, everything, the stripper, they work in mysterious ways, and they do help you perform. People say no, they don't, but if a fighter's in camp and he's got 12 weeks to a fight, and he's got to spend 6 weeks of that making weight, etc., and he's only got 6 weeks to train. If you take them, you might have 9 weeks to train with only 3 weeks of losing weight. Mm-hmm. So it helps a lot. It helps a lot that people need to realise. It helps with your breathing, it helps with everything else. So personally myself, I think that he's... I really did like him as a fighter, you know, even though he's in my weight, I did like him, but he's a drugs cheat. And he put other people's lives at risk, and you know it's not good, because you know we've seen a lot of deaths in the sport lately, and that just brings a big black cloud over the sport when someone gets caught at that level of fight. You cannot do that. I mean, it's just bizarre to even do anything like that.
Tony Bellew, Deontay Wilder, to name a few, are very vocal about drug cheats. Do you think they should be banned for life?
1,000,000%. I think they should be banned for life, never to be let box again and compete, or at least with a big fine, you know, and a lengthy ban if that wasn't the case. Because in England we have a random drug test. I mean, I have to be in the gym every day at 5 around the area. That's my time. And if you're not there and you miss it, you miss 3 strikes, you get a 2-year ban, and that's even if you're clean. So I personally think that drugs cheat 100%. You know, boxing needs to be kept fair on every single levels. And you know, us as Brits, we go to America and we fight. We go to wherever we need to go and fight, and we get strict random testers. And I think that's how it should be all over the world, because there won't be drug cheats then.
You and your stablemate Kell Brook have been in the headlines as of recent with the Charlo brothers. Is that a fight you would be interested in?
100%. I personally think they're good fighters, the Charlo brothers. You know, I don't fear anybody at the weight. I know when I'm at top flight, I know that I am the best middleweight, and I will prove it. Just get my chance, and I will prove that I am the best. The same as I went to Canada and did what I needed to do. I would do it again on the big stage. I'm a performer. I think that the Charlo brothers, they talk a little bit of shit. You know, it'd be nice to to shut the oldest brother up. What's his name? I forgot his name now. Jamal. It'd be nice to shut him up. He's got a bit of a big mouth, and I would love the fight, mate. I'd love to make that fight, because styles make fights, and I think that would be suited for a good fight.
How do you rate them?
I think they're good.
Yeah.
You know, I think that the light middleweight's the better brother. You know, you can only go on who you beat, and they're not really beating anybody of note. You know, they're not really. To be honest with you, the English fighters I've beat alone would beat the people they've beat, and that's in Britain. So I can't really go on it until you put in with someone what's supposed to beat you, and you pull through it and see how you pull through it. So, but most definitely it's a fight 100% that could be made, I suppose.
Bill, one thing that really entertains me, I'm sure everyone else too, you just don't leave David Lemieux alone. Why? He could tweet good morning, you'd be like, good morning.
I'm just being nice, I'm just replying, you know. Listen, David Lemieux is a very sour and bitter and sore man. You know, before you fight someone and before I fight someone, I've got in the ring with people before and I've been absolutely terrible and got the win, and I've come out and said it. I've been in the ring before where I've been dying at the weight, made weight terribly wrong, poor performance, won, and said it. You know, if you get beat by the better man, you better off putting your hands up in the air and say, listen, I got beat by the better man. You know, that's how it was. But, you know, he's full of excuses, but also he's full of shit. To be honest with you, he's not an elite. I wouldn't class him as an elite fighter. He's an elite puncher, and people's got him that name by standing in front of him. But you know, when you use your boxing brain and box around someone, and I like to think that, well, I know that before David he was even thinking about throwing a punch, I knew what he was going to do 3 steps before he even thought about doing it. I knew what every shot he was going to throw, when he was going to throw it, out of the first round. He was so predictable. And, you know, he still don't give anyone any credit, and he still goes on like he's this big name and whatnot else, where really he's just a bum from Canada.
Do you think that if he gave you credit, are you saying like if he gave you credit, if he fully admitted to like, you know what, he was the better man, then you would leave him alone?
If he put on Twitter as a status, Billy Joe Saunders spanked my ass in my back garden, then I'll leave him alone, yeah. He'd never hear from me again. I'll even consider about blocking him. But he needs to put that tweet up first. Otherwise, I'll just keep putting good morning to him and tweeting pictures of him. I've actually got a picture of me turning his face into the main leader of Planet of the Apes with a jab. He turned into, what's his name? What's his...
I didn't see it.
Well, I've got his name somewhere, but he looks like him with Planet of the Apes, just with a jab. So I might tweet that picture tomorrow. You might see it. Look on Twitter, you might see it with his tag. Because I know we're 5 hours in front of him, so I'll wait till it gets about 4 o'clock here, and it'll be 11 o'clock over there, and then it'll be the right time.
Would the same be said for Chris Eubank Jr.?
He is what he is. He is useless. You know, I beat him with 5 weeks training. With 1 week of making weight, made weight terribly wrong, and I still beat him. I beat him on a 30% me. He is absolutely useless. It's pointless him. It's right what Naz said. I personally think he should retire because he's going to get seriously hurt when he's in there with a boxer what gives him 12 rounds of complete beatdown. It could be dangerous. I personally think that he's absolute useless.
Bill, as a fighter, based on your performance, your last performance, would you say, what percentage would you say that you've sort of tapped into? Like, would you say you're 100%?
I knew doing the ring walk to David Lemieux that we're going to box well, but I knew that that wasn't the fight that would get me up to bring that elite performance out, because what people need to realise is that I play it safe now with fights because I want to get to that one big fight where I want to show what I'm about. Mm-hmm. When I get to that one big fight, there won't be as much running, there won't be as much doing what I do, because I won't care. I'm there. What I've worked for all my life, it'll be there in front of me, and I will need to take it the best way I can. And you know, everything I'm doing now, playing it like David Lemieux, if I really wanted to, I could have stepped on him in some of them rounds and took a chance and stopped him. But I thought, just do this for 12 rounds. You're gonna absolutely batter him anyway and school him. You know, and you know, I got credit for it by American fans and Canadian fans. But when I'm in there with one of the men, Golovkin or Canelo, then you'll see the best of me. But that's nowhere near the best of me. Nowhere near.
All right, Bill. Well, I know it's pretty late here, so I'll wrap this up. Thank you so much for having us again here at the Gala Pad. Final words. I'm just going to list names. Just give me final words for them. Canelo.
Drug cheat.
Gennady Golovkin.
Bull rat.
Jamal Charlo.
He got robbed up by a woman, didn't he? So I ain't even got nothing. I ain't even got a name for him. He's like a little pet name. I might name him Timmy or something, you know, like a little pet. That's all he would be. He don't want to leave America. If he wants to come to England, I'm sure Frank Warren will sort it out, and I'll slap him up.
Danny Jacobs.
Danny Jacobs, good fighter, but if he really wanted to fight me, he would have went with Frank Warren and not Eddie Hearn, because if he really wanted to fight me, he keeps mentioning my name. He knows that it's like saying that, you know, HBO and the other big channel, what's it called? Showtime are going to put a show together and let their fighters fight. It's not going to happen. Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren don't work together. It's a known fact. Unless Eddie Hearn wants to let him on a Frank Warren bill, then we can have it. Because I know I'll beat him comfortable.
All righty. Well, it was nice chatting with you. We'll speak again soon, and sorry to hear about the injury.
No, it happens anytime. Thank you very much. Yeah. Peace out.
All right. Bye, fight fans. Hey, fight fans. It's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else